Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Kevin Costner's new Western docuseries is the real-life version of Yellowstone fans needed. For fans of Yellowstone, who enjoyed Kevin Costner's portrayal of John Dutton, a rancher fiercely defending his Montana legacy, the West is the real-life counterpart they didn't know they needed. This 8-part docuseries, which premiered on the History Channel on May 26, 2025, swaps the fictional drama of the Dutton family for an exploration of history. Hosted and executive produced by Costner, alongside historian Doris Kearns Goodwin, the series dives into the brutal realities of the frontier. The journey echoes the themes of land, power, and identity central to Yellowstone, offering fans a deeper connection to the West's enduring legacy. The West spans a century of pivotal events, starting before the 1800s, when settlers pushed beyond the Appalachians, driven by dreams of land and riches. The series highlights iconic figures like Sacagawea, Chief Little Turtle, and Crazy Horse, alongside the rise of cowboys, ranchers, and trailblazing women. It doesn't shy away from the darker truths. Costner himself described the history as tragic, marked by settlers' encroachments on native lands. This mirrors Yellowstone's narrative of defending one's claim against external threats. The series' focus on diverse perspectives adds complexity that resonates with fans who appreciate Yellowstone's nuanced conflicts. Costner's involvement with the West feels like a natural extension of his Yellowstone persona. When Costner played John Dutton, he embodied a man tied to the land, wrestling with progress and tradition. In the West, his narration brings that same authority, guiding audiences through expert interviews and historical reenactments. The iconic movie star has often talked about his passion for the American West. He's made several other Western-themed films, like Dances with Wolves, Wyatt Earp, and Silverado. During the opening of the West, Costner says that his love of the era was sparked as a child watching how the West was won. The West has a power, like nowhere else, to fire up the imagination. His love for the era really shines through, making him the ideal host to unpack the complexity of the time period. Fans mourning his exit from Yellowstone can find solace here. Unlike Yellowstone's solidly fictional feuds, the West grounds its storytelling in historical truth. It explores events like Chief Little Turtle's victory over the U.S. Army and the tragic encounters between missionaries and the Cayuse people. It also delves into Theodore Roosevelt's legacy, with Costner admiring his intellect and leadership. He even draws parallels to the principled resolve of the fictional John Dutton. For fans, this series feels like a bridge between Yellowstone's mythologized West and the real struggles that shaped it, offering a chance to see the land's history through Costner's lens. The West is the antidote to Yellowstone's romanticized drama, delivering a hard-hitting narrative that doesn't gloss over the frontier's bloodshed or complexity. For fans of the fictional series Yellowstone, it's a must-watch, reconnecting them with Costner's Western soul and the land he's always been obsessed with. This docuseries is the real story of the West, told with the same passion that made John Dutton unforgettable. If Yellowstone lit a fire in your soul for big skies, rugged justice, and the relentless pull of the American frontier, then Kevin Costner's new Western docuseries may just be your next obsession. Titled Horizon, an American Saga, The Journey West, this upcoming project trades the dramatized battles of the Dutton family for something equally gripping but grounded in truth, the untold stories of the real men and women who shaped the Old West. With Yellowstone, Costner gave us a fictional yet emotionally charged vision of land, legacy, and loyalty. But now, he's stepping out of the world of make-believe and riding full gallop into historical reality. His new docuseries peels back the layers of Hollywood myth to reveal the raw, untamed, and often brutal truth of America's Western expansion. And it might just be the most authentic portrayal of frontier life we've seen yet. a passion project decades in the making. Costner isn't just narrating or lending his name to this series, he's the driving force behind it. The actor, director, and producer has long been captivated by American history. From Dances with Wolves to Open Range, he's returned again and again to stories of the West with reverence and grit. But Horizon, an American saga, isn't just another Western. It's a blend of documentary, dramatic reenactment, and archival deep dive, brought to life with cinematic vision and scholarly depth. The series promises a sweeping, multi-episode journey across the American frontier, beginning in the early 1800s and moving through pivotal moments of conflict, discovery, and migration. Expect to see real historical figures, obscure diaries brought to light, and reenactments that don't shy away from the hardships and horrors of life on the edge of civilization. The anti-mythology of the West, where Yellowstone painted a mythic picture of contemporary ranching dynasties and land barons, clashing with modern encroachments, Horizon travels back to a time when America itself was still becoming. This docuseries strips away the romanticism to confront the complexity of the westward expansion. The dislocation of native peoples, the violence of manifest destiny, the grueling lives of pioneers, and the contradictions of freedom on a stolen land. Yet, don't expect a dull, dusty lecture. Costner's storytelling flair ensures that Horizon is as compelling as any scripted drama. The series brings human faces to the names in history books: midwives, scouts, cowboys, settlers, soldiers, and the indigenous tribes whose land was irrevocably changed. Each episode dives into their personal journeys, full of triumphs, tragedies, and resilience, echoing the emotional core that made Yellowstone so addictive. Filmed on the frontier, in true Costner fashion, Horizon is filmed in sweeping cinematic style. Vast, golden plains, towering Rockies, harsh deserts, and wild rivers. The docuseries was shot on location across the American West, with many scenes unfolding in remote, untouched regions to capture the landscape in all its unfiltered majesty. But more than just scenery, the camera captures the soul of the land, the brutal beauty that lured people westward and broke so many along the way. It's not just a travelogue, it's an immersion. Every dirt-caked boot, every creaking wagon wheel, every prairie wind carries the weight of a forgotten past. Voices of the land. One of the most powerful aspects of Horizon is its inclusion of indigenous voices, not as background figures, but as central narrators. Costner reportedly worked with tribal historians, elders, and consultants to ensure authentic representation, and to present the native perspective not as a footnote to history, but as an integral thread in the Western tapestry. Viewers will hear oral histories passed down through generations, juxtaposed with settler accounts and military records. The series refuses to take sides, instead letting the voices of the past speak for themselves, messy, contradictory, heartbreaking, and real. For Yellowstone fans, a deeper connection. If you've ever watched Yellowstone and found yourself yearning to understand the roots of the Dutton struggle to protect their land, Horizon offers that historical context. It shows us how land became so charged with meaning, how blood and sweat and sacrifice were poured into every acre. It's the prequel we didn't know we needed, except it's not fiction. The greed, ambition, love, and pain that drive the Dutton family mirror the same forces that defined the 19th century West. Horizon lays bare the moral gray areas that Yellowstone only hints at. In many ways, this docuseries is the real-life version of the epic saga Costner began with the Duttons. But here, the stakes are higher because the stories are true. Bridging past and present, as America continues to wrestle with its identity, especially questions of land ownership, race, and the cost of progress, Horizon arrives at the perfect moment. It doesn't preach or pander. Instead, it invites viewers to reflect, to empathize, and to see history not as distant and finished, but as living and urgent. Costner has said this project isn't just about telling history, it's about understanding it. By doing so, Horizon becomes more than just a docuseries. It's an invitation to reconcile with the past, to recognize the complexities of how the modern American West was born, and to ask what stories we carry forward. A legacy worth watching. Kevin Costner has always had a knack for elevating Western storytelling, and with Horizon, an American saga, The Journey West, he's done it again, this time with even more purpose. It's bold, it's haunting, it's necessary. For Yellowstone fans hungry for more, this docuseries won't scratch the same soap opera itch, but it will feed a deeper hunger.